At Monday's daily press briefing, CNN's chief White House correspondent was up to his usual antics, getting lippy with President Donald Trump's no-nonsense spokeswoman. But when Jim Acosta wouldn't shut up about Russia, White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders put her foot down, fact-checking his pants off. According to the Daily Caller, CNN reporter Jim Acosta suggested at Monday's press briefing that President Donald Trump has not been as tough on Russia as past presidents, to which Sarah Sanders responded by rattling off the list of military, economic, and diplomatic measures the administration has taken against Russia. Just because you've been saying this over the last couple weeks, that nobody has been tougher on Russia and Vladimir Putin than this president, isn't there some hyperbole in that? Acosta asked Sanders. Obviously, Ronald Reagan's tear down this wall, John Kennedy put up a blockade around Cuba, Carter boycotted the 1980 Summer Olympics in Moscow, he continued. Obviously, there's been presidents over the course of the last several decades that have been tougher than this president, Acosta added incredulously. Also, up until recently, this president wasn't willing to criticize Vladimir Putin by name. Sanders knew precisely how to deal with Acosta's incendiary line of questioning. You cite like one example for each of those individuals, she answered, according to Fox News. Let's talk about a few actions that the president has taken that previous administrations haven't, she continued. The Treasury Department issued new sanctions on numerous individuals and entities in Russia. The president's continued other sanctions on malicious cyber activity in response to election hacking. He's expelled 60 operatives from the United States and closed 2 consulates, Sanders stated flatly, never losing her cool, even though Acosta was clearly trying to get a rise out of her. The president has issued 4 statements condemning Russia's poisoning of UK citizens on UK soil, Sanders continued, skewering CNN's lippy reporter. He's authorized the sale of lethal aid to Ukraine. He's authorized military strikes against the Assad regime in Syria and has repeatedly called out Russia's actions on that front. We've also exported energy to our allies in Eastern Europe, she added. You named off 1 or 2 things. It is without dispute that this administration and this president has done a number of things to be tough on Russia, Sanders concluded. You can watch her expertly destroy Jim Acosta below. Truthfully, Sarah Sanders should not have to offer White House reporters an education in the history of Russia and past U.S. administrations. These men and women are journalists, or so their resumes claim. They ought to have a decent understanding of what President Donald Trump has done versus his predecessors where Russia is concerned. But, alas, Sanders is forced to stand at the podium day after day and school leftist reporters who seemingly cannot see beyond their own bias. It must be exhausting for her. Sarah Sanders is surely one of the most intelligent and put-together White House press secretaries we have ever seen. But, since she's a Republican, she's never shown any respect by the press. It's sad, considering the fact that she is an excellent role model for girls. She's a mother of 3 young children, and she enjoys a wildly successful career in Washington. Honestly, she'd be a feminist icon, if only she were a liberal. This just goes to show how horrendously biased the Democratic Party really